Well, that didn't go to plan. Okay, I'll wait for you to come on. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah. All sorts of crazy happened. All right, I'm going to show you again. So, just to refresh. I'm running my journaling program at the moment, and while the power of journaling is very, very, very strong. Great to see you back, ladies. I hope I didn't make you feel sick when I tipped you sideways. So while the power of journaling is very, very strong, it's so important that we create this environment that is supportive of the stuff that we're writing in our journaling. So I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to hang on to things so I don't drop it. But what we want to do is create an environment. So see that? That's my vision board over there. We want to create an environment where we're feeling aligned to the stuff that we're journaling all day, every day. And the way that we do that is to not just have visuals around us constantly, but it's also tapping into our subconscious. So I'm going to show you as well I'm just going to close a few things down, but on my screensaver as well, not sure if you can see that. That is the W Hotel in Hollywood. I'm there for 2 weeks in July, and there's a lot of really cool stuff that I want to make happen for that trip. And so that is my constant reminder of that upcoming trip and the urgency that's there around making the big stuff happen that I want to happen around me. The other thing that I have on my desk is my Wings and Quantum Leaps journal. I've got some really cool gold and silver pens, and I'm writing every time something happens, it's a win that I consider a win. I'm writing that in here because I want to be able to read this at this time next year and really remember all the awesome stuff. And sometimes I'll, go back, no doubt, and flick through it just to see the amazing things that have been happening in the year. Every time I type in my password on my computer because it's gone to sleep, or on my desktop, or on my phone, or every time I go to log into the stuff that I use, like my journal, I have phrases that I'm using. So it could be self-made multimillionaire, or it could be I'm living a first-class life, or whatever it is. I'm constantly typing these different phrases in every time I have to log in. So it's not just about the journaling practice, that is super important, but it's also all the other stuff that supports that. I've got a whiteboard there. One way is used for just my daily planning, or when I have a client here, we work on that. But on the other side of it is all of my targets, so that my goals and my targets, so all of the numbers that I want to hit based around the launch that I'm doing at the time. I have another journal sitting here as well. I have my online journal. I've got my new vision board that's sitting just down there that's been built out at the moment. Some of the images have phrases behind me, some of the things in my the frames behind me. It's about creating an environment that is inviting the things into my life that I'm journaling about. So it's not just enough to go, I want this and I want that and I want to blah, 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 and then you go away and then you forget about it until, 3 days later. The journaling practice is tied in with daily alignment to that stuff. So it's all of the stuff that you need to do that is constantly reminding you of, thank you for the love, of what it is that you're trying to achieve, because without that, the power isn't there. So when I'm walking in the mornings or in the afternoon, I seem to be doing lately, I'm walking along with an Audible book playing in my head, and I'm thinking amazing thoughts, and I'm thinking about all the things that I want to achieve. Before I go to bed, I'm visualizing. When I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about it. It's not just the writing of the stuff, it's about making sure everything else is aligned around it and making sure that I feel good. My number one job every day, and it should be yours too, is to feel awesome. And when we feel good, when we feel happy, when we feel joyful, when we feel healthy, when we feel energetic, when we feel on purpose, when we feel aligned, that's when the magic happens in our life. You cannot create a positive life from a negative mindset. We know that. You can't go along thinking negatively and Debbie Downer and thinking, this isn't going to work. If you go around thinking like that, you're going to get what you expect. So it's about expecting amazing things to happen and show up in your day, expecting amazing things to happen and show up in your working life and in your regular life, and that's what happens. That's what's going to show up for you, but you have to work at it. But it should be fun. For me, that's just part of my daily practice. It has been for many years now, and it's what's got me where I am today. So if you're not doing that stuff, start to implement that now, so that it's become a habit by the time we tip over into 2017. Anyway, I've done 2 massive trainings this morning, and I'm just about out of words. So I'm off, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.